then I don't know why he calls himself Joe Corre, but Vivienne, when he met Vivienne, she had one son, and then they had a son together. They never got married. But he didn't have a good relationship with his son because his son sided with the mother. Whatever went on with their lives or whatever, he sided with the mother. And the thing he didn't like about Joe Corre was that when they had a big exhibition of the Seditionaries' clothing in New York, I'm good. I don't have any cash. Sorry. When they did a big exhibition, Joe Corre was like the curator of the Seditionaries' clothing, and Malcolm's girlfriend went to look at it, and she said half of the stuff was fake. It wasn't even real. And because she knew, and Malcolm knew, because it was like counterfeit. And so he was just bitter about that the son wasn't honoring the legacy of the clothing that would allow counterfeits to be in a New York museum.
Because once that happens, really,
and I don't know,
it's like chopping your legs off or something.
But basically, when he split with Vivienne, the son Joe sided with the mother, so he didn't have a relationship with her.
Really?
Yeah, and that's the guy that started that place.
Take a walk over there.
You could just do a video of like Wardour Street on a what day is it? On a Wednesday night. That's what's incredible to me. I mean, it's so busy.
It really is. What night is it? It's tonight Tuesday?
Wednesday night. Yeah.
Oh, it's Wednesday. Yeah.
It's a Wednesday night. Look how busy it is. Yeah. That's Joe Corre.
So when you came here in 1997, did you have a drink?
When I lived here in the 90s,
did you come here with Jerry?
yeah, not often though, because I came here mostly when the Marquis was like 5 doors down, and once the Marquis moved to Charing Cross Road, which is the street that the Astoria is on, and I think it moved there in like 95 or something, or 94, then there was kind of no reason to be here. And also it was a totally different climate like in the 90s. I wasn't really going to the Astoria to see bands because, they sucked. And I worked in a nightclub. So I really came here in the 70s and then in the 80s because it would be before I went to the Marquis. Like to see, I think the first time I saw Joy Division, I think was at the Marquis, which is just
down there on the left?
Yeah, it's on the left. It's about 5
Oh. So that's where you saw Joy Division over here.
So I went to the ship really in the 80s when I was visiting here, and then in the 70s because of the Marquis right there. Because you want to get tanked up.
So how much do you think the Guinness were there back then? Just a guess. I know they were like $4. Actually, no, about $5.50 in the mid '90s. 97.
I should know because I worked behind the bar, but to be honest, I don't remember. We didn't do pints; we just did cans.
I think Orlando was $5.50 at the cheapest back then.
I think a pint, if I'm remembering correctly, in the 90s, a pint was maybe about $4 or $5, but I'm not sure. In the 70s.
Right now? Come on,
it's
guys!
Not bad.
All these years later,
yeah,
that's
I know.
great. We're not complaining. Don't hike the price on us, please.
But yeah, so I didn't really come here in the 90s because I wasn't going to the Marquis. So that's
So probably about 500 people in there.
yeah.
Small place.
I would say less than 1,000
Yeah.
because the Astoria where I worked was 1,500, and this was much smaller.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess 500, but maybe 800. Let's say about 500. But it was a great venue. So yeah, so the ship was where you get tanked up before you go to the marquee.
So you'd come here with Jerry
When we visited in the 80s, yeah.
when you visited, yeah.
In the 80s, yeah. I met Michelle, who we're going to see on Saturday night. I met her in the summer of 85, and I think we were here a month in the summer of 85. So if we went to the marquee, we probably came here.
Yeah, so you guys probably came here?
Yeah. I'm sure there was something going on at the marquee. Saw Johnny Thunders at that marquee, and then the new marquee. He played there a lot. But if I Google the marquee, I mean, it was like, The Who probably played there in 1963. I mean, it's like everybody played there. Probably the biggest thing I could sort of claim to fame or whatever is I saw Joy Division there.
Yeah, no, that's big.
I mean, that's like, I didn't see the Sex Pistols there. I mean,
What year would that Joy Division have been?
it would have been
Maybe.
1978.
Maybe
probably,
there's a show that'll appear, who knows? Nobody had cell
It was
phones.
probably,
Yeah.
because I got here in the summer.
I don't know.
I'm going to guess it was like October 1978. I think that was the first place I saw them. Couldn't believe it. I thought, wow. And then after that, they kind of got popular, and then they started playing kind of little bigger places. But I remember seeing them there.
Do you think like any more modern bands came through here, like, like modern being like 10 years later, like, well, maybe 15 years later, you think a Nirvana, was the place open when like a Nirvana was around?
Nirvana, when Nirvana first came, I'm not a Nirvana
Or
expert.
Oasis, yeah.
Oh, wait. Well, again, I don't think that marquee would have been there very long when Oasis started. They would have played the other marquee, which is on the train, the newer marquee. But
Right, because it's later.
no, Nirvana, when they first came here, I know because I was here, it was 1990, and the first place they played was the Astoria. The Astoria is where you played when you were like going one step from the marquee.
So there's probably an Oasis story. I don't even know like where they started out, like where their small clubs were.
Oh, they
That's
started
like a whole nother thing,
They
right?
started out in London. They were a North London band.
So there's clubs around London and stuff
Oh, I'm
that.
sure they played, like I said, they probably played the new marquee, but I'm sure they played lots
I mean,
of
you could
clubs.
you could do a whole story on
Yeah.
that. Try to find.
Oh,
I'm not saying you. I'm just saying
Yeah.
somebody out there.
But when
That's
the
pretty amazing.
when the
Anybody watching a video, like, I mean,
Yeah.
they probably know the history. Grab a
Yeah.
camera or a phone and
but when Oasis really
get
caught
it together.
on, I think it was '93, and I was
Yeah.
working at the Astoria, and they did about 4 nights because they had caught on. Yeah, but before that, they were playing clubs.
Every step of these streets, London.
wow. This is the rock and roll street.
Yeah,
of
LA
London.
something and New York something, but this town,
This is
London
the-
is an old
Yeah.
city where
Yeah.
like not everybody's come through, but almost everybody. I mean, like the echoes off the walls, the stories,
Well,
the
if I do,
dreams, the
I might learn
tragedies,
more,
everything.
but see, I wrote. Oh yeah, I want to see.
Creativity, love.
Okay, this is a
Heartbreaks.
history of the marquee, just my notes. It opened in 1958 on Oxford Street, and then so it was on Oxford Street, which is a couple blocks that way, and then in 1964 it moved to 90 Wardour Street. Bowie played here November 1964 at that marquee. Yeah, and filmed the 1984 show there, which was filmed in, I think, in 1974. And the Pistols played there too. I don't know when.
Pistols, wow.
And it closed in '96 and moved to a different location.
So I wonder if Sid ever did anything solo, or Glenn Matlock. Some of these guys probably.
No, Sid did, because I know I saw his only gig. Yeah, so no, he didn't. But no, but the Pistols
Somebody
played
might have
there.
popped in there, yeah.
And then the Pistols played there in '76.
Yeah. Amazing. So it's. All right, we'll take a walk up and take a look at it a little bit.
It's great.
Oh, no. We we can definitely take our time.
We'll be back.
You came in.
Oh, there you go.
So when you came in to do the interview, which did you come
I
down
came
from?
this direction because I was coming from Oxford Street, where that's that way. Because I was coming from Oxford Street from Topshop.
So
It's about
you're coming from here.
right up this street. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you came in this way.
Yeah.
Was this door here? I'm like 2 hours
So,
over.
I think so. I remember the one on the corner. I think the store was here, but I don't know.
And then you came out this way.
No, we went to the high-end restaurant.
Oh, so which way was that?
It was.
Down
It
this
was.
alleyway? So you went down this way.
I think so. It's about a block or two down.
Okay. Wow. So you had to run out and you're like, what am I doing? Like,
Well, yeah, I wanted to just go back to work.
yeah,
I didn't want to lose my job.
yeah.
I didn't want to go eat, but I didn't know they were going to a fancy place. I thought we were just going to go to a cafe. So, I don't know.
So like back when?
Like in the 70s, and I think the 80s. Not
Yeah, like post and
Yeah,
pre.
like post-production.
Well, yeah, post, yeah.
Post. Yeah.
Which,
I was never fired, but I just think I didn't like the atmosphere. It was kind of
so you actually cut film at the place.
no. The guy said, "Oh, do you want
Do
to?
you want to learn?
Do you want to learn?" Yeah. He thought I was probably working there, and I think I only like made tea and answered the phone. He probably thought I was working there to get into film editing,
Yeah.
which I wasn't. I wasn't really interested. But he said, "Oh, you want to cut your first film?" And I said, "Okay, I'll cut it." And I just remember it was like this. Like a thing that just chopped. I don't know. It was like it seemed kind of primitive. Oh, let's cut the film. Yeah, like a knife or something. But anyway, but I didn't last long. I think it was a very quiet place.
A couple weeks, you said?
Yeah, and then I actually had 3 jobs in the area. Then I had another job. I told you I worked again. I think it was just answering the phone, and it was a place that was like a recording studio, and it was owned by an Indian guy. I remember. He was nice. And there was another guy that worked there, and he actually did recording, and he was a singer of that band, The. They're kind of popular. You hear
The.
You hear him on Channel 33. Yeah, he was funny. He was always like taunting the Indian guy.
He was the singer of the band, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was his band. Because later I thought, oh my God, that was that young guy.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me before, I remember.
Yeah, that was in this area too. And again, for whatever reason, I didn't get fired. For whatever reason, I thought, no, this is not something I want to do. It was just.
So you cut the film, well, you were at that post
Yeah, it was
production on
Wardour
this street.
Yeah, that's how and then
This
the
is
other
called Warner Street?
Wardour Street.
Wardour.
Yeah, Wardour. Like Wardour.
I'm like Hugh Hauser, I don't, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
I gotta
okay.
have you.
And then the other job I had, like I said, I didn't last long. I can't remember, but I was answering the phone. But the guy was kind of uptight. The guy that was kind of uptight, and the guy from the was always getting on his nerves. I think the guy in the was actually like some kind of production engineer there or something. And it wasn't really a rock and roll place. I don't know what kind of recordings that they did, but and then after that, I said, no, I wanted something more kind of lively, and then I applied to Topshop. So I bounced around real quickly. There was lots of work.
Topshop we haven't been to.
No, I don't even know if it's still there. But then when I got the job at Topshop, I thought, oh, this is what I want. I want something lively, something. And I think the pay was better. And, and I like fashion, I like clothes, and I like people, even though I'm shy. And so then I went to Topshop. But I actually bounced around 2 jobs in Soho, and then 1 at that bookstore in Piccadilly. That's funny. So yeah, I know the area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some memories here.
Yeah. Then I.
Stray Cat.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? When I look back at it, you don't have to record this. But when I look back at it, it makes me think like, wow, there must have been a lot of jobs available in 1978. Because I had no work permit. I didn't pretend like I did.
Yeah.
I just hoped people didn't ask. And nobody asked, or I don't remember people asking. But it was a lot of jobs available. You know, not great jobs, but you know, there was jobs. Yeah, but anyway. And then I found Top Shop, and I thought, yeah, I want to work at Top Shop. So, yeah, I actually worked at Wardour Street.
Right here.
If I'm going to be totally sincere, I'm glad you're interested. One of the reasons why I left the film place is that the guy that said, "Do you want to cut film?" I felt a kind of a sleaziness from him. I felt uncomfortable around him.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I just thought, I don't like this place.
Well, you picked up on it good.
I felt uncomfortable around him. I felt
Spikes went up. Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't like the job anyway. I don't know what I was doing, answering the phone or making tea, but I felt you just feel.
You know.
Yeah, and I just felt like, oh no, I'm out of here. So.
You know.
Yeah.
Female antenna is.
Yeah. And I just thought it wasn't there.
It's the best radar in the world.
Yeah. Oh, You're making me tell stories.
It's not perfect.
I remember once I was actually walking, I think back from the film place, and you know there used to be like massage parlors or more of them, or these sex places. I remember I was walking by one place, and a guy like chased me. He said, "You can make good money. You can make good money." I'm just like, oh wow.
Yeah, you would.
He chased me down the street.
Looking good.
Saying I could make good money. Come back. You know, he wanted me to come back, and I said, I'm okay. But Top Shop was in my future.
Cheers.
Cheers. Soho memories. Memories of Soho.